I'm looking, wait, is it, are we live? Is it red? I don't see red. I see red. Hi, everybody. This is Brooke, and this is Certified Life Coach Institute. I am the Chief Marketing and Operating Officer here at CLCI, and this is a live lunch and learn with our level 2 class. I have no clue what we're going to go over. We'll see. We'll find out. We've got some students here. For now, I'm going to turn it over to Jerome so that he can get everybody introduced. And make sure you like, comment, share, participate. We are monitoring. So please, 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 we want to hear from you.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another Lunch and Learn with us here at CLCI. My name is Jerome. I am the social media manager and among other things here at CLCI. I kind of do a little bit of everything. And we're excited to join you guys again. We have some students who were so kind to actually go ahead and donate a little bit of their time to our live stream today, as opposed to taking their lunch. So we do appreciate you guys for that dearly. And we want to go ahead and let you guys go ahead and introduce your guys' selves for a second. So I see Jan first. If you want to, go ahead and just let us know who you are, Jan.
Well, I'm Jan, and I'm in Atlanta, and I'm here to learn more tools.
Thank you. And I'm going to pop this over to gallery view so I can see everyone. Looks like we have Karen up next.
Well, there are two of us.
Karen, Canada.
I'm Karen House from
Karen House.
Reno, Nevada.
Thank you, Karen House. And then we have Irma up next.
Hi, I'm Irma Ilustre, and I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you. And we have Francesca next.
Hi everyone, my name is Francesca. I'm Italian, but I live in New York City, and I'm very excited to be here today.
Thank you. And now we have Sharmila.
Hi everyone, this is Sharmila Fowler. Just really excited to build my skills in this level 2 class. So thanks.
Next up.
I'm in Chicago.
Cold out there? I bet it is.
A lot of snow.
We're spoiled over here on the West Coast at the moment. We've got Mary up next.
Hi, I'm Mary Smith. I am in Northern Virginia, just outside of DC. We do not have a ton of snow, but we had enough for a great walk, and I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And then we have Denise up next.
Hey there, happy Sunday. It's Denise. I'm also outside of the DC metro area, looking at a lovely white landscape out there. I'm super excited to be here for this next level of coaching as I launch my coaching practice and help others get from where they are to where they want to be.
And we have Cindy next, who is making me a bit nervous. Please,
she's driving.
Please pay attention.
Don't worry, I have hands free. Hi everyone, Cindy Blakaitis from Grand Cayman, south of Cuba, and it is 80 degrees and sunny, and I just pulled into my house, so don't worry any further.
And then lastly, we have Annie, but definitely not leastly.
Mute. You're on mute, Annie.
Annie Lear, glad to be here at Indianapolis, Indiana.
Right, and that opens up the table for discussion now.
Did you introduce yourself, Jerome?
I did.
Good, just making sure. So yeah, now it's up to you. You guys can just take yourselves off mute. Whoever wants to go first, if you have any questions, if you just want to discuss anything regarding anything to do with business, marketing, or coaching. So whoever wants to go first. Yes, Jan, I see you.
Excuse me. So I'd like to know a little bit more. I've talked to you, I think, a couple of times regarding the next steps from here. And I know he's going to go over that a little bit, but rather than get a broad sense of it, if you could go a little bit more in depth with that, where do we go from here?
And just in general?
As far as like the next steps into the certification.
Okay, so you're getting your credential essentially
Yes.
with ICF. Okay, because from us you will get that certification when you graduate here. But with that, you'll also have 65.8 accredited coach specific training hours. Why is that important? Because International Coach Federation, ICF, requires, if you want to just be a member, let's say, a minimum of 60 hours. So that's where you start. So you can graduate from here and become a member of ICF and not have the credential. You'll just pay for it, and because you have that 60 hours of training. Then what they are going to, then you're going to want to start accumulating those coaching hours. So that's really the first step, is start getting out there and coaching, because you have to have 100 of those hours, 100, 75 of which are paid, 25 can be pro bono. The wonderful little trick though, everybody look around those in the class here, stay in touch with them, because if you are a coach coaching another coach, it counts as a paid hour. So that's pretty good. I mean, you guys can coach one another, not charge each other, and it still counts as a paid hour. So that's really one of the first things you want to do, is start coaching and start recording those hours. We do have a coach log for you that you can use. We also have a list on our website that breaks this down as well. So what you'll also need to do is get yourself a mentor coach. And the mentor coaching is 10 hours over the course of 3 months. It has to take place for 3 months. That 3-month window has to happen. And with that mentor coach, you're going to be submitting your sessions, and that mentor coach is going to be giving you feedback. And the idea is not only to make you a better coach, but also to prepare you to submit one of those recordings to ICF. Then once you've submitted one of those recordings, you've gotten your hours, you've done your coaching hours, you've got your training hours, you're going to submit all of that to them. And once they approve all of that, they're going to then approve you to take the CKA, which is the Coach Knowledge Assessment exam. And at that point, it's a 150 question exam. It's open book. You got 3 hours, I believe. And you take that. As long as you pass that, then, and they approve your session you submit and everything, you can then earn your first level of credentialing, which is the ACC. So it takes about a 6-month process, just so you know. It's not, it's going to take a little bit of time.
I have a question, Brooke. So the level 2, you said it goes towards 68.5 credit hours?
Well, yeah, you have 32.8 for level 1, what you took in level 1. In level 2, this level, you get 33 more hours. So that's for a total of 65.8.
Okay.
And then after you have your credentialing, you'll need to maintain it. So you'll have to keep getting more training hours. I believe that you have to have a minimum of 3 every year, which is, it's far fewer. You can do the CCEs for that if you want as well too.
So I'm assuming that those extra training hours, do we take them through you guys, or is there like a specific ICF website where we can take some credit?
ICF offers stuff all the time. Once you become a member, you're going to have emails all the time about things that they're offering. We are also building out our own level. Actually, we're building out a team coaching kind of thing. And then, okay. And then we have a question for you guys from somebody watching too. So Chinyer, I hope I'm saying that right. He's wondering what you guys have learned in level 2 and how it's helped you. If anybody can answer.
I'll go. Hey, Chin or whoever you are. Level 2 has taught me how to ask the right questions, to be more present, and to have confidence in listening to cues of the person and use their language to be able to reach them and meet them where they're at. That's what I learned the most, is to meet my client where they're at and then dive into that and get them from there to where they want to go. So that was pretty more in depth than level 1. I loved it.
It's pronounced Shinyer. So thank you, Shin.
Thank you, Shinyer.
Anybody else want to answer? No, everybody's shy. That's it. Well, if you guys have if you want to chime in on that at all, do you guys have more questions regarding the credentialing? And you guys will actually go into this more with Dan. We actually will give you some sample CKA questions today as well for you to go over, and he'll really dive into it after this. And we'll be dropping all of those tools for you guys in the chat, like the coach log, the coaching log, where you can log your hours, the the checklist for credentialing and all of that. We'll put that in the chat for you guys as well.
Will you be able to
I'd like
email?
to-
What was that? Sorry, Jan.
He gave me the thumbs up. I was saying, can he email it to us rather than us picking it up from the chat?
It'll be
I'm
emailed
having,
to you.
I'm having an issue getting it from there. My thing won't work right.
No worries. It's definitely gonna be emailed out to you guys as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So Brooke, I have a question.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is.
Go ahead,
Karen.
Mary.
I have a
Brooke,
question.
I was going to,
Mary.
I was just going to respond to the viewer's question.
Oh yeah, okay. Mhm.
And I think I would say, like, I understand that question because he may be asking, I'm assuming it's male, actually, I can't see the picture or anything. The person may be asking because they want to know whether they should take level 2. And I think one reason that it's hard to answer, what have you learned? There's plenty of experiential learning. So you're picking up just by listening. But then there's a lot of teaching that goes on. But I have a feeling we won't really integrate that thinking until that teaching until we start using it, because there's a lot.
Mhm.
So I just am trying to give you, I don't want it to sound like we haven't actually learned that much. There is a lot that goes on, but I do believe once we start incorporating it, you'll then be able to answer better what you learned, because there's a lot of tools. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I mean, there's a 200-page book that goes out. Erin, yes, I see you, Erin.
So just to piggyback on what Mary was saying, I think also what you're looking for is what you'll find. I was looking for depth coming into level 2, and that's exactly what I found. Just more depth of knowledge, more depth of reaching out to people, getting information, finding out, connecting with people. So I think if you have an idea of what you're looking for, that could very well be what this person finds. That's it.
By the way, Angela Angela Williams, hi, we see you. Shinyur said it's a she, just so you know. And they are saying that you guys are making sense. And then Lori Prentice said she's glad she went through levels 1 and 2, and that she used the techniques, etc. So Shin said, yes, I wanted to know if it was worth it to take level 2. I wanted to know more specifics of the benefits. But I mean, yeah, that's very true. You guys don't quite know the benefits yet because you're still in the class. So, but there is a lot. We do definitely pack in a lot of knowledge in this class. We go into neuroscience, modalities, shadow work. There's a lot that goes on. And you guys you just got done doing your first 1-hour coaching session too, right? How did that go for you guys?
It's awesome.
Great.
Good. I loved my client. I think she's the top notch, la creme de la creme.
I think we may have lost Brooke.
She's faded away. Hey, and just to kind of dovetail on what was said already, I think the class here, this level 2, is a great example of good adult learning, because it's not just an information dump, that we get a few tools, some learning, and then there's interaction and there's use of those tools as well. And typically we learn best when we're participating. So it's really been a great example of that for us to add the additional layers of tools that we're getting access to, and we kind of be able to flex those muscles right out of the gate with practice.
And
so
that's why we really say you can't do level 2 without having taken level 1, because you really need that foundation. Level 1's an outstanding class, but I really think level 2 is where the magic happens. Because you've got that foundation sort of laid in place, and you can start to flex those muscles and then add to them as well. And then the experiential learning, it's amazing. It really is. I usually pop in on Saturday too, because it's just an amazing class to be in. So, okay, now back to you guys. What any questions from you guys? Yeah.
Really kind of for me, I would be interested in you kind of hearing anecdotally how some people are handling their marketing to be able to attract the right clientele.
Okay, so does anybody here want to discuss that? Have any experience in that they want to share? Yes, Jose.
Well, I have a yoga studio, and we work with the energy and all the stuff. And we're actually doing a book right now that we're studying called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And so all the students that have signed up to this workshop, I'm actually offering my services as a life coach to go one-on-one afterwards. And it kind of gives them a little introduction on what to do first and then working with me. So, and that's how you can kind of see who's really ready to work and to change and to go forward.
That's a great, I mean, so Denise, do you have a warm, she has a warm market. She's using it to her advantage. And that's one of the things I always say, you guys as new coaches, the best thing you can do is find a group of people that already trust you. So if you're coming from a business that you have clientele that already trust you, or people that you've worked with, coworkers, that is a great place to sort of fish for clients from, because they already, there's some trust there. The other amazing thing that Jose is doing is it's a great example of doing a group kind of experience, a group coaching experience, something, you know, a classroom, a workshop, a yoga class. And then it's really easy then to, from that, move to the one-on-one, a higher ticket item. It's also because they're already used to paying you the smaller amount, they'll be more comfortable paying you a little bit more. And you can start to sort of filter through the people who are out there you're marketing to that are going to actually pay you versus the ones that are not. Because that's a big difference there. So,
Right.
Anybody else want to share their experience?
I'm doing, oh wait, I'm mute. Oh, I'm not muted. I'm doing presentations for oftentimes school parenting groups, since I'm a parent coach. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. So I'm doing school presentations to parenting groups. And I, you know, the one I did quite a few times is COVID to Calm, you know, how to create calm in your house. And so you give them a handful of tools. It's a good opportunity to connect with people. And oftentimes, you know, they come to you because they want more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's that giving before you receive, you know, and that's it work. Again, it's building trust with your clients. Anybody else want to? I love the parent coaching too. We have one of our staff is his wife works at a school district, and he's constantly trying to figure out how to get coaching in there, especially given with all the virtual and everything and how hard it is on parents. And so the amazing world to be in, especially right now. So
shout out to Joe and his wife.
Oh, shout out to Joe and his wife and Vanessa. Hello. Yes, absolutely. Irma, did you? Yeah.
So I feel like marketing is something that I'm not really strong in, but I have I've joined several groups on Facebook actually, you know, kind of targeting the type of clients that I would like to work with, and that's been helpful, just kind of making connections, and I also joined the local Chamber of Commerce just to make some more business connections in that way. But yeah, like I feel because I don't already have a business, I don't have like something kind of already out there that I could piggyback on. I do find it a challenge. So any other suggestions for how to, like when you're totally starting from scratch?
Yeah, so
how to
you're completely starting from scratch but you're doing the right things. And that's putting yourself out there, I mean, that is the biggest and most important thing. And there's no catch-all. There's no, if you do A plus B plus C, I mean, yes, you can. And they will think each step, something will work along the way, but it's going to fit differently for everybody a little bit. But joining Facebook groups, if that's where you're comfortable and that's where your client is. So there's the 3 rules. I always share them. When it comes to marketing is 1, speak their language, make it about them. And 3, go where they are. So where is your client? Where are they spending their day? Where are you going to find them on the internet? Where do they frequent? Where do they have coffee? And that's where you want to be. Because they're not going to go to you, you have to go to them. That's the entire idea, is you're getting on their radar so that then they will eventually go to you, but you want to get them to notice you to start. So that's the first question to ask is Irma, where would you find your client?
So I'd like to work primarily with women, focusing on women going through different transitions. So I've been trying to like join groups where like moms groups, and I'm a mom, so you know like it isn't too weird. And I'm like going into these groups. So yeah, so different groups like that. The groups.
So let's get a little even more specific with your client. So it's moms, from what I hear, who are going through transition. What kind of transitions are they going through?
Like going through various life transitions, like going through like you know, like if they're having their first child, or if their last child is going off to college.
Okay.
You know, maybe they're transitioning from being a working from home mom to working out of the home mom, or vice versa. I know with COVID, there I mean, as Mary probably knows, like there has been a lot of you know, like you might be working from home and, you know, helping your kids with school. So, I mean, that's like this whole past year has been a huge transition, I'm sure, for a lot of people, a lot of women. So
I like how, and that's what, so you want to be that specific when you're marketing, talk to those moms. So, and in their speak in their language, make it about them.
Mhm.
So where are you going to find those moms? Where will they be?
So, you know, like when I first started thinking about like coaching and like working with women, I was all like, oh, you know, I'll bring it to the Starbucks that I go. I'll drop them off at the library. I'll do, you know, and all those places are like not open.
Yes, I know, right? It's a whole other thing.
I'm like, what can I do? So, you know, so like a lot of the stuff that's online. But I have to also admit, I'm such a dinosaur. Like I'm on Facebook. I just got on Instagram. Twitter still, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. But you know, like all these other, I don't know, like I feel like
you're not a
I'm
dinosaur.
behind on that.
You're not a dinosaur. You are human, and social media and all anything internet, it moves so fast, and there is so much out there. Everybody is overwhelmed. I don't care who you are. Because if you're not overwhelmed, it's because you have a team, because no one person can successfully man every single channel there is out there. That being said, pick the ones that will work best for your client. Pick the ones and really focus on those. You can have an account that just sort of sits elsewhere, but just really pick one or two right now and make those the priority, and work on those, and make those the ones you're comfortable working in, and the ones that where you get the most success. And then once you feel like, okay, that's really good and that's in a good place, then try the next one. But you don't have to do it all at once. Don't ever think you have to do it all at once. And the amazing thing is, each step of the way, you'll start with one, you'll master it, it'll get good, and then you'll start the next one, but you'll have this whole library of knowledge you didn't have when you start the next one. So it'll get a little easier with each step. It'll get a little bit easier.
Okay. So just focusing on doing Facebook, instead of feeling like, oh, I have to like start posting stuff on Instagram and, you know, doing a TikTok dance. Like I don't have to worry about those things. Okay. Okay.
You don't pick one and do one that you feel really comfortable with.
Okay.
And now I would give it a window of time. If you're not getting any kind of results, then maybe try another one, or try a different form of that. Right. So, you know, just really test. Marketing is testing. It's a huge part of it is testing. So know that part of the process is to test things and have them not work. And to test things and have them work. It will go both ways, but that is part of marketing. There's A/B. As marketers, we know we're going to put things out there that isn't going to do all that well. So, and we just have accepted it and moved on. So you guys as business owners, have the same approach. It's just one big test. But also the biggest thing is go where they are and give things a little bit of a chance. Different things take a little bit of time for you to see the success. Not a lot of people are booking clients directly from social media. It's really, social media is how people get to know you. It's how they start to develop that relationship, that trust with you. It's why you want to give a lot more. You're giving a lot more than you're getting in social media. The idea is then, though, you want to take them to your website from there, right? And then that's where you'll sell from, for the most part. So that, really pick one channel. You don't have to do everything. And then really speak to them, speak to their language, hit that emotional, hit what they're going through. That's big. So what is your client struggling with?
Like just dealing with, like right now, like I would, you know, like working with moms who are who are struggling with like the things. So let me back up. So I know, like, speaking for myself
Yes, perfect.
personally, yeah. Like right now, the struggle that I've been working through is all that time that I had to myself when my kids were away at school. It's not there anymore. So it's about you know, looking at time management, looking at okay, like
So what
can
are you
I
saying when you're thinking about that moment where I don't have the time, right? How do you say, what are you saying to yourself in your words, in your inner dialogue?
Yeah. So I always try to remind myself that this is just a period. Like, I'm hoping the pandemic is not going to last too long.
But the step before that, when you're, how do you tell yourself, like, when you're frustrated or when you're, whatever that emotion is, that, what are you saying to yourself?
Okay. So like a time when I would be frustrated is when my kids want something and I'm like, oh, there's another thing that I have to do, whether it's getting dinner together or,
Perfect.
You know, I have like a meeting for one of the volunteer groups that I do, you know, and I would say to myself, take a deep breath, you know, like what do I need to pay attention to right now? You know, so if I'm in a meeting with, you know, with someone who I'm volunteering with and we're working on a project, then my kids are going to have to be okay waiting. And they know that. I mean, I've talked to them before and said, you know, when mommy's on a meeting, you know, I will put up a hand to know, so you know, I know you want me, but that you would have to wait until I could, you know, come to you. If it's something else, you know, I'm just like,
no, that's but what I actually was getting to is when you said another thing I have to do.
Okay.
Right? That's a pain point. That right there, I understand that pain.
Right.
And I get another thing I have to do. That's your emotional hook. That's a way you can connect with your person and just use that in your marketing. You say, do you feel like, you know, or you could just have it say another thing you have to do or something like that. And then in the text, speak to that solution, or in the video or whatever it is you're doing. But that pain point, that moment of like, I am so frustrated. That is how you connect with people quickly, is to appeal to that emotion. That because that part of our brain, that reptilian part of our brain, which you guys learned about today, it does a lot of our guiding with decision making. And so you relating and relating quickly in their words will quickly get people to go tune into you because of what your message is and what you're saying. So that first emotional impression is critical, and you really want it to hit home if you can. Yeah. So that's what it's same thing I did with her, guys. Do those exercises with you and think about that inner, how are they talking to themselves? How would I talk to myself in this environment or in this situation? Denise, yes, I saw your hand.
Yeah. So one of the things we did on level 1 that I've gone back to kind of as my marketing springboard is we did the features and benefits work. And so I spent time in the past in marketing before social media was a thing, but I took all those features that we turned into benefits and I looked at each one of those and tried to create a phrase that speaks to my ideal client. You know, like what is.
Can I get an example of one?
Yeah, let me pull my list here. So I can get one right out of my head, but it was like, are you feeling stuck?
Great.
So
but she's speaking to the pain points again. So this is the step before the features and benefits is to speak to the pain point. And that's
right.
Yeah.
So I took the features and benefits and then I tried to laser focus to say, how does this feel to my client? And so I've created a whole series of what those statements are, and I'm popping those out there.
Yeah, I'm like, how is that, and how's that going for you? Like that's really, it's great the way you did that. I like the idea of breaking it up between features and benefits with that phrase, because then you can beta test. You can throw out this one, and then you can find out, well, this is working, which means this benefit, this is what they want. And then this is and you can start to see, you get that feedback and that information, which can be very, very helpful. And by breaking it up that way by topic and getting that finite with it, where, you know, this is the pain point, this is the solution, and I'm just running one bit of information on this specific thing, you can get a lot of information that way. And that's, again, what marketing is. It's not about failing, it's about learning. It's about learning who your client is and what they want and what they respond to. We have some chat going, some things. I want to say hi to Sue in the chat, hi to Ernest, hi to Angela. And I know you guys you're having some great discussion in there. Jerome, if you could look through it and see if anybody has any questions that we need to answer, that'd be amazing.
Just giving us kudos.
What? Go ahead.
Just giving us kudos, no question.
How are you? So any other questions or anything else in that vein you guys want to talk about, or do you want to switch subjects? Silence.
Can I bring up? Yeah. So so I know, like, for example, Mary says that she's a parent coach, and yeah, I've been looking online, and I see that there are like all these different coaches with like different things that they do. That I just saw one for someone who's a kid coach, like coaching kids to have better self-esteem. Is there like more training to do to get like different certifications for these things, or is it really up to us to say, you know what, this is something I want to specialize in, and then this is what I'm going to call myself?
So as coaches, what do you guys, once that door shuts, boom, how much information are you providing in that environment?
Theoretically, not very much. Theoretically, they have the answers, right?
Exactly.
You're coaching the client, not the problem.
So what the reason I bring that up is because when it comes to niches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really, your niches are about who you want to be your client, who you work well with, and then your marketing. But once that door shuts, really they're leading the way. It's just about sort of changing that vocabulary. So if I'm a parent coach, I'm going to be using the exact same tools as any other coach. And that's why we choose life coach, because it's a larger term. It's everybody, we're coaching people and people live. And so everything sort of fits under that umbrella. Your niche will really come out when you're doing marketing and group coaching kind of things. And it's really just more for a way for you to identify easily who your target market is and who you want your client to be. And that is really what that niche comes in for. That being said, because, well, not that even that being said, once you're coaching though, the tools are the same. You are letting the client lead that space. So in theory, if you have the education to be a coach, you could be any kind of coach. It's just narrowing it down into the fields that you guys want to work in, who you want to work with. And that's why that exists for you. Now, where your knowledge in those specific areas will come out will be when in your social media, when you're giving for free, like when you're giving that information out in your marketing, when you're providing tools, when you do group coaching, let's say, and you've got a group full of people and you're speaking, that's where that background and that information that you've learned and accumulated becomes very important, because that's how you are showing people, you're demonstrating what's called expertise. You're making yourself an expert. And that automatically makes people trust you more. So that's why that knowledge and that background, that education is very important to have. Ultimately though, once we're coaching and the door is shut, it's in the client's hands. So it's interesting because it's two contradictory things, but both very important though. So that I would say yes, that education comes from you, and you're free to get it wherever you wish as well. So I look like Mary, you wanted to?
Yeah, I was just going to add. You know, in Irma, we spent a lot of time talking about in level 2 is, you know, we asked a lot of questions around, someone talked about solution coaching. I talked about consultant versus coach. I understand that as a coach, I am not a solution provider. However, the people I work with, I range between coach and consultant. So I do have opportunities where I have expertise in parenting to offer. And yes, I do that on my social media, but there are times when clients want more of a consulting piece than a coaching piece. And that's up for me to decide. But as the coach, it is true, I understand I am not giving advice.
I call myself a strategist. That's what I, for the most part, am. I provide strategy. I use coaching tools within my practice. I use coaching tools within my business all the time, And I thoroughly believe in coaching and coaching as a tool that everybody should use. But ultimately, I call myself a strategist simply because I want it to be very clear that what I am offering people when they come to me is you're going to be getting, we're working on strategy together, which means I'm going to use my tools and resources within this. Does that always fit? Is that always the right answer? Not necessarily. For me in marketing and business, I find that it is an important element in what I do. So at the same time, though, it is scary. It's that liability thing that comes in too. So hi, Dan. I see Dan is back.
Hola.
Does that mean we're almost done? Real quick, we have one question I would like to answer. And then and that was Lori asked, could you expand a bit more on how group coaching fits in? And I'm going to just tease you and say, well, we have a team and group coaching class coming out soon. So yeah.
I can vamp into that question really quickly if you want.
Sue says hi, Dan.
Hola. Team and group coaching, in my experience of it, seems to facilitate best when there's an umbrella of the reason why we're all coming together. If you randomly get 20 people together, there's no theme for the conversation. But if there's a context by which we're coming together, then there's some commonality of either experience or desired outcome that that you might be working with one person during that interaction, you're actually talking to everybody in the room or the majority of the room. So that would be the one thing in team and group.
Well, that's
have a reason.
And the difference between team and group is that in group, it's a group of people that are all separate individuals coming in to work together or learn together. In team, it's a group of people that have a single objective working together. Whereas the group coach, they might all have individual objectives that they want to work on. A team is that everybody has the same objective, whatever that may be. And that's why team is very sort of business coach oriented. But I think we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys out there for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, and check out Certified Life Coach Institute. And everybody on screen, you can say bye. And thank you guys for being here. And it's good to see everybody. Bye.
Thanks so much, Brooke.
We'll see you guys live from all platforms Tuesday, hopefully.
Tuesday at 4 on all platforms.
Yes.